learned something fascinating about human beings through teaching breathing, because I could talk to you now about oxygen and CO2. I could talk to you about chi, or as they say in Japan or Korea, ki, the life force energy that moves through us and can be regulated through breath. But there's something more interesting that I found. Teaching people how to breathe led me to a discovery. There's a tremendous relationship between breath, the lungs, and grief. So I want to tell you a story. This happened last year. I gave a talk to about 50 CEOs about happiness, breath, anxiety, etc. And after the talk, I left the building and went down to the sidewalk to wait for a taxi. One of the CEOs followed me out, and he said, look, I'm 58 years old, and I've started having panic attacks for the first time in my life. And when you're a CEO, having panic attacks doesn't work. You can't sit in a board meeting and suddenly feel your neck get stiff and a splitting headache come on and you want to run screaming out of the room. He says, I can't have this. What should I do? And I said, well, when did these panic attacks start? He said, 6 months ago. So what was my next logical question? Exactly. What happened 6 months ago? He said, my brother died. And you were close, I said. He said, yes, very. And you're a workaholic, aren't you? And he smiled and said, yes. And after the funeral, you went right back to work, didn't you? And he said, yes. I said, you don't have an anxiety issue. You don't have a panic attack issue. You have a grief issue. You haven't grieved the death of your brother. Now, when you suppress grief, which you've learned to do, and you and I have learned to do, if you keep suppressing it, and you layer it as new grief events happen in your life, it comes out in another way. It comes out as anxiety. So your anxiety, your panic attacks are because of your grief. He said, what should I do? I said, come to my workshop tomorrow downtown. I'll show you some breathing exercises. These are breathing exercises. I said, just come. So he did. He wrote me 2 months later, and he said, no panic attacks. They've stopped completely. But I have been feeling grief. And I realized you were right, I did need to grieve my brother. So by allowing himself to feel the grief, which we're terrified of, the anxiety was gone. I see this all the time. The people that have the most anxiety, that learn breathing exercises, almost immediately start to weep. You can time it. It usually takes 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes 30 seconds. And if we ask ourselves, why is this? Why do so many of us suppress grief? It's because we're taught to. Mostly in an unspoken way, we're taught that expressing grief is socially unacceptable. If you think about it, we'll express anger much more readily than grief. We'll shout at the TV screen if our team is losing. We'll yell at another car and not apologize to the passengers in our car. But if you start crying when you're talking to someone, you'll wipe the tears away quickly and say, I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry. And especially men, we're taught, never let them see you cry. It's a sign of weakness and failure. So that's what we've been taught. And on top of that, no one ever taught us what to do when our friends are grieving. So we avoid them. So on top of going through the grief event, our friends scatter. They don't know what to do. They've never been taught. They think they'll make us feel awkward. So they avoid us. And so now we're isolated as well. So I think that if we came together, we would build stronger bridges of friendship. We would create more intimacy. And you don't have to say anything to someone who's grieving. Don't try to cheer them up. Just say it's going to hurt really bad for a while, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. This year it's your turn. Next year it might be my turn. we'll all get through this together. That's one of the chief things I think we need to do as a society. And second is learn breathing exercises, because it makes a difference right away, not someday. When I go into a corporation, believe me, if it didn't work, they'd say, we're going to do breathing work. It's going to make you feel better within 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So I have about 1 minute left. I'd like to try to teach you one very simple breathing exercise. Please sit up straight. Take your back off the backrest. And if you can, put your hands on your side ribs. Make sure they're on your side ribs, not your hips. Ladies, think bra strap. Men, bra strap. About that high. Not the front, the sides. I know you're packed in close together. Now, when you inhale any way you like. Make your ribs go out to the sides. Fill your chest. So your ribs stretch out to the sides, not out front, out to the sides. Then exhale, sit taller. Again. Sit taller, exhale. Bigger. Inhale, sit up and make your ribs grow out to the sides. Hold your breath. Exhale. Good. You can relax your arms, but keep imagining that your hands are there. And this is a very simple exercise. It's an old yoga exercise, and Dr. Andrew Weil is promoting it quite heavily now. It's fantastic. You can do it before you're going into a difficult situation or after. So it's called the 4-7-8 breath. You inhale for 4, you hold for 7, you exhale for 8. So we'll do one round now. We're going to go at this speed. So make sure you're sitting up off your backrest. You're going to inhale into your ribs, but to prepare, quickly exhale. Now, through your nose, inhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, deeper, 4, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. More. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 4. 1, 2, 3. Expand your ribs. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 4. 1, deeper. 3. Expand. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Quick breath in and out. In and out. Relax. So that's one of many exercises you can do. Once you learn them, you can do this at your desks. People take cigarette breaks. You can take a breathing break. Some doors only open from the inside. Breath is a way of accessing that door.